What are we unpacking in this episode? The devil's backstory, his transformation through the ages, the dark history of how he's been used to demonize entire groups of people, and the ways he shows up in contemporary society. Our experts are breaking it all down.
We joke that we did try to get the page length to 666 pages, but we couldn't quite get there because of limits.
I don't think any of us got into the field of devil studies thinking it would be immediately relevant.
Here we are.
The devil is a really useful, easy, lazy way to deal with difference. Rather than sort of thinking about people who are not like me, you can just demonize them. And this puts up a wall between you or your community and them and their community. It's a really lazy way of just dealing with difference, dealing with anything which is different. Just demonize it.
And if you buy into that, what a world to inhabit, right? Like what a world to inhabit where you just accrue just everything that's outside your experience is potentially demonic origin.
Absolutely.
It's a useful organizing tool to think with the demonic. If God is supposed to be all-knowing, all-good, all-powerful, well then how the hell does evil exist in the world? Why are there famines? Why is there war? Why are there natural disasters? Why are there illnesses? Why are loved ones dying? So people use the devil as a way to absolve God of being the author of evil. He might let the devil do certain things, but at the end of the day, it's the devil who's doing them.
It makes the devil pointless, really, other than as an explanation in the way Mickey was talking about, because the devil just becomes a moron, right? I'm going to lose this one, but I'm going to keep fighting.
Because it's like if you've got this all-powerful God, this transcendent God, in a sense, you don't have a need for a devil, or the devil doesn't work. He doesn't fit.
So our crops got wiped out by a freak hailstorm in the middle of summer. We're looking at starvation by the high winter, by the coldest part of the winter. That's clearly got to be the action of the devil.
When we talk about demonization and sort of how the devil becomes, like you'll get some students who are quite surprised to find out that there is no physical description of the devil in any of scripture, right? And it's like, well, where do those ideas come from?
If the devil can make himself look like an angel, firstly, again, how the hell can I possibly recognize it?
I think it's why apocalyptic rhetoric and fear-mongering writ large is so profoundly powerful. Because if you tell people that the devil is after you and the devil's enemies are all around you, then you're conditioning people to look for that in their lived experiences, and it becomes this self-legitimizing discourse, right?
There's a line that I've read once ages ago, and I can't remember who wrote it down originally, but seeing may be believing, but believing means that there's an awful lot to see. 2 weeks later, guess what happens? People find lots of witches. Yeah, conditioning and priming sort of really makes a lot of difference.
I think it's why the devil kind of falls out of fashion by the time you get to the end of the 17th and into the 18th century among certain intellectual circles.
He looked at some trials from the 1570s to 1620s, 1630s of these Italian peasants, northeastern Italian peasants, who believed that at certain times of the year, they traveled in the spirit, so out of their bodies, with sorghum sticks to fight against witches.
The devil might be a symbol of something else, of liberation, whatever it might be. So there's modern day Satanists who are not theists. They don't believe in a literal devil, but they see the devil as a symbol of rebellion and of freedom. On the one hand, the devil is such a powerful tool of negative self-definition, right? To define who you are by what you are not. But actually, I think what's hard is when we see people talking so much about evil, so much about the demonic in ways that are clearly being used to other, to demonize, to ostracize, whatever. It doesn't give us much purchase to use evil as a way to talk about social evil. The flip side of demonization is dehumanization. These are two sides of the same coin.